Welcome to ReShoot, amateurs in no suits. Too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end. Let's see something never done before.
Hey guys.
What?
Look, you gotta look up.
No.
Look up.
No.
You gotta look up.
No.
Please.
No. All right.
Right.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to ReShoot, an amateur's guide to good film.
We take movies, good, bad, maybe in between, and we try to fix them. Try being the operative word here.
Don't listen to our first episode, please.
I talk like fucking Ben Shapiro in that episode. Don't do it. All right. Let's give names. I'm Hector's Comet.
Oh, I'm Ruthie's Comet.
I'm Soul.
Nice pun.
That's Ed.
That's the comet formerly referred to as Ed.
Yeah.
All right.
This week's episode was Don't Look Up. This is the first Oscar-nominated movie we fixed, but that is a lie because Joker was almost winning Best Picture. But I think this is the first nominated for a screenplay thing that we're gonna fix.
No, I think Joker was nominated.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Also, Joker did get a few Oscars. Sound design and Joaquin Phoenix.
Both of those
that's
were
right.
Yes.
I don't know if this one deserves an Oscar. It definitely did win an Isaac. At this point, for listeners, last week it won an Isaac.
Or last week for us.
What I was trying to get at was I feel a little intimidated saying this movie sucks because of the screenwriting, because it's probably going to win an Oscar for screenwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the original?
I think it's
Possibly.
original. Yeah,
It's original.
Possibly.
probably.
I think so.
That arguably gives it bonus points, so yeah. I mean, at least enough people are divided on this movie, so
Yeah.
anyway.
No, Ed, I don't think you saw, but on our Twitter, I asked what's people's least favorite movie, and a couple people said Don't Look Up.
It's definitely, for all the movies that I've seen that are Oscar nominated, it is definitely the weakest, in my opinion. For Best Picture nominees, that is.
Oh,
For this year or of all time?
For this year.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It is,
I don't know.
it
There's been
is
some.
definitely the weakest.
There's been some garbo over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Green Book didn't deserve the nomination or the win at all, in any way, shape, or form.
Even my mom thought so. So before we forget, Don't Look Up. Can I just give the plot summary?
Yes, please.
I'll be honest, I can't remember the characters very well, the name. So there's
Kate Dibiasky,
there's Kate, Randall.
Dr. Randall Mindy.
Yeah. There's the other scientist who was higher up at the
who's
planet.
one of the heads of NASA.
He wasn't the head of NASA. He was just a planet, or he was the Planet Defense Agency or whatever it's called. It's a real organization.
Yep.
And then
Right, because they stilled on it. It's is that even a thing? And then it is.
It is.
I hated
Here's their
that.
logo.
yeah. And then
You didn't like the still?
It took me out of the movie. If they had done more of it, it would have been fine, but it was just the one, so it drove me crazy.
so
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's true.
Kate and Randall are just researching comets.
Because she's a PhD student.
Yes, and he's a professor.
Candidate.
Yes.
Right.
He finds she finds the comet, and then he's the one who finds out the trajectory, and it's it's coming to Earth, and it's the size of Mount Everest.
9 kilometers wide.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed
Mhm.
In the beginning of the movie, they say the estimate is 10 to 13. And then near the end of the movie, they say 5 to 9.
That would be expected.
Because they're actually seeing it closer.
I know. I'm
'Cause,
just just the thing I noticed that the estimate went down so drastically.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not to mention it's a comet, it's burning, so
Yeah.
some of the mass is probably
That's
It's not
true.
burning.
I'm
Well,
not.
when
I'm
it's
not a
reaching when
spaceologist.
I know, but when it's reaching the
Atmosphere, it'll burn up a little bit. Yeah, but while it's in space, it's just hurtling through space.
yeah, but I'm sure stuff can also knock other flying debris can knock chunks off it.
Sure, when it goes through the asteroid belt
Asteroid
outside
belt,
of
yep.
Mars.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Oglethorpe or Teddy Oglethorpe.
Yep.
So they talk to him, and then he's like, "Oh, we need to bring this to the president," but no one cares in the presidency, so they leak it, and then that brings attention to where Kate. They go to like a popular news show.
Like basically Good Morning America.
Yeah, Kate gets hated on and becomes a meme for warning people they're gonna die being too quote unquote extreme, and then Randall's calmer, who's played by Leonardo DiCaprio, by the way, and Kate is Jennifer Lawrence. So with that going on, Randall's calm and everyone loves him, and then he starts cheating on his wife with that whole thing with the host played by Kate Blanchett, Brie. Basically, there's a whole lot of like, in a sense, nothing in this movie because it's just trying to examine society as a whole. So it's hard for me to pinpoint what's actually important enough to talk about. So there's a rich CEO. So they're about to. This gets enough attention. The president's like, okay, we'll take it seriously, and they're about to send away. They're about to nuke it from space to send the comet flying away. When the president, who is played by Meryl Streep, her highest level donor, is basically the equivalent of Steve Jobs.
And
Elon Musk.
But it felt like both.
It felt like both.
He was wearing
Mhm.
the turtleneck.
It's just like he's just like, oh no, we can mine this, and it'll bring peace to everyone. I just want to be rich. I'm just joking. That's how he talks.
Yep.
And
That's how Elon Musk talks.
I'm gonna ask, how accurate was that?
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Decently
Thank you.
accurate.
I've never actually tried that voice before. Okay. So the mission gets aborted at the last minute.
And when he says the last minute, I mean, like the ship is already taken off. The guy, the astronaut, has like made the racist jokes, and then the rocket turns around and they come home.
The astronaut bit was actually funny, just because I also love what's the name of the guy who plays
Ron
him?
Perlman.
Ron Perlman. I fucking love Ron Perlman. So like, it was just great.
And he made that like white people comment, and I'm like, Lamau.
He made like no one was safe
Yeah,
from the comments.
said-
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was white people, Indians, both kinds.
Y'all should team up.
Wouldn't that be awesome? And then he says something about gay people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gaze, and then it's pulled, and then he's turned around.
Yeah. You could tell it was gonna get going worse. So then they're like, oh, we got stuff to mine. And then by this point, Kate's arrested for whistleblowing that.
Mhm.
And then she kind of hooks up with Timothy Chalamet's character when she goes back home as a way to stay away from media. But then Timothy Chalamet is kind of an important character, and because he proposes later to Kate, and then she says yes, but it's like in the last 2 days because the comic's coming down. The rich CEO guy has a plan that has not been tested and is using shaky technology and every time someone's criticizes him, he just gets kicked.
He
kicks him out.
Fired. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All the scientists get fired from the mission.
So at this point, Randall just fucking loses it and starts telling everyone like, don't trust the president. This is wrong. This is gonna work. And then he gets fired. And then he and Kate work together again to try and bring attention to it through a look up campaign. And then the president's counteracting with a don't look up wink campaign.
Turn to camera wink, because the movies don't.
Yeah, I know.
don't look up.
Yeah.
I know.
And then by the end, the plan goes off and it doesn't work. So all the rich people go into a cryopod in space while everyone on Earth dies in a really beautiful ending, actually. Because it's like they accept each other for what happened. Like Randall and his wife get back together because it's like, it's fine. It doesn't matter at the end.
They have like a kind of Last Supper kind of thing, and it is really beautiful.
Yeah, and then Yule, the guy who is played by Timothée Chalamet, gives a pretty good prayer.
He does he does a couple.
He has a couple, yeah. Yeah, everyone dies except for Jonah Hill's character, who is the president's son / the Speaker of the House, I think was the implication.
I don't think he's the Speaker of the House. He's more
He's
like
he's the chief of staff.
yeah.
He's the chief of staff.
He's literally Ivanka Trump.
Yeah.
And Jared Kushner at the same time.
And
Yeah.
also being like instead
Wait,
of
does he get into the spaceship?
No, he gets left behind.
His mom leaves him.
That's right.
He's the only human to survive for at least a little while, which was an after post credit scene. And then the president wakes up like 20,000 years in the future on an alien planet, and then she gets eaten by a dinosaur. I hated that scene because the joke was like the CEO can predict how people are going to die through his algorithms. She's like, "How do I die?" And he's like, "Oh, you get eaten by a Brontor." And she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, I have no idea. And then they go to the thing. She gets eaten.
They find out what a Brontor is.
It was not a good payoff for a joke.
Yeah.
No, I that's yeah.
If she had died in space, it would have been funnier to me, because then it's like, oh, he was super wrong.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he was wrong about Mindy, Dr. Mindy.
Exactly. It will just kept hammering home that this guy was a complete idiot, and algorithms can be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I got everything.
That's basically the movie. There's a lot of like other small things, and like because Kate has the meltdown in the daytime show. Later in the movie, Mindy has the meltdown in the daytime show.
I did mention that.
Yeah, the same show. And yeah, just the movie is definitely more about just like how people react to the comet.
And ignore climate, and the not so deep meaning the in your face thing is like, it's about climate change, and while we believe in climate change, this movie just does a weird job with it.
Yeah.
Ruthie, do you want to go first?
I don't think that's what the movie's about at all.
The movie's literally about climate change.
No, it isn't. That's not what I think. I think the movie, sure, climate change like is an influence to it, but I think the movie is more about how people like only react when it's like already too late, kind of thing. And that's the thing, like this movie is really, really like, some parts aren't even funny because they're so close to reality. Because if this comet thing started happening, I think we would go about it almost exactly the same way, and I think we would all die, because that's what our planet is like.
Well, this movie also takes a very America-centric approach, which isn't, I don't know. I feel like other countries would at least try to do the right thing.
None of them have enough resources as we do.
Make that.
They don't have that many. I mean, maybe China would do something, but they'd kill like 500 people testing their shit first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it would go almost exactly the same. Like, it wouldn't be as, I was about to say it wouldn't be as ridiculous as literally turning around the nukes, but then again, like I honestly wouldn't put it past any person on this planet. It's so real. It's way too real for me. There's some really funny scenes though.
For me, it's like there's some bits where it's like, oh god, that hits so close to home. But there's some bits where it's like, feels a little.
Even that feels, there's some scenes that feels a bit much, but really think about it. It isn't that wild. A lot of the things that they pull. With how people actually react, and how I'm going to bring up the climate change parallel. But I think there was a study said that 400 parts per million in the atmosphere of CO2 is kind of the point of no return. We hit that like 3 years ago.
So for context, I did my first year. Long story short, I did a lot of stuff on sustainability and climate change in college. If we don't want climate change to impact us in the way that it probably is going to, we have to reduce our carbon emissions by, if you've done skiing, which I haven't, have you ever heard of a double diamond black slope?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's basically an 89-degree angle.
Yeah.
down. That's what we need to do. Yeah.
And we just need to make corporations stop, but that's not going to happen.
But yeah,
lobbying.
That's how they keep letting it happen.
Yeah, I know.
anyways,
Bribery.
Let's let Ruthie
yeah,
begin.
Let's get politics out of here. Sorry.
yeah.
This episode is going to be political. We're
Yeah.
not going to avoid that. We're saying this now. If you don't want to hear politics, if you don't want to be in a political conversation, skip this episode. That's fine. You know, I get it.
Yeah.
Some just don't want to hear it.
Yeah. So I know this is going to sound like a cop-out, but I kind of agree with Ed and Hector. Like, this is a movie, like, you can tell a lot of what it's trying to say is about climate change, but it's also touching in on a lot of other points kind of reflected of climate change. Just like some issues and hindrances as to why climate change isn't like talked about. But I gotta say, despite that, it's actually like one of the more surprisingly accurate depictions of why people don't like talking about climate change to date. I gotta say, like, it's scary. It's a lot. There's a lot of distractions. There's so many things to care about. It's kind of overwhelming. Nobody can care about all of that stuff, but this is like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going through my likes. Another like, it's a good, I liked the cast. It was really fun. I'm surprised that Leo was able to pretend to be married to a woman his age, but you know, he's a good actor. Kudos to him.
I mean, even just have sex with a woman close to his age.
Yeah. It must have been so tough for him. You know what?
Yeah.
He took the L, honestly. And I gotta say, I liked Meryl Streep's impression of a certain someone. Like the scene where she's giving the speech talking about how she's sending Ron Perlman's character into space, where she's like, your nation and the world and God and me, thank you for your service. Like, yeah, no, that is accurate.
Very.
Yeah.
I honestly think that there were some bits where she was performing on par or better than Alec Baldwin's impressions of the said certain
or mannerisms.
Yeah, no, just like his like not just the mannerisms, but like the whole like jokes in SNL when he would play that specific someone. I feel like she did a better job of it sometimes.
The mannerisms aren't Trump like though. It's just she has mannerisms of someone like that person. I said the name.
Yeah, it's the
nice, nailed it.
She does the whole.
She doesn't mimic. She like no. Here's the thing. Like Alec, he would take the mannerisms and he would like magnify them. She didn't take his mannerisms. She kind of like took her own and then she like kind of vibed with it in her own special way.
Yeah,
which made it feel that much more real. Because anybody can do the tiny hands thing, but like I don't know. There was.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Now on to my dislikes.
This is gonna be long, isn't it?
The whole movie, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna boil it down. There are a lot of analogies, a lot of themes, and it's kind of overwhelming. And I know it. I know. I can hear it. Ooh, I can hear it. I can hear the audience screaming at me. Ruthie, that's the point. Don't be a dingus. But I'm gonna be a dingus. So let's break it down. Here's all the themes that I can think of, and there's probably even more than that. So I got there's an oversaturation of unimportant media out there. There's too much to focus on, right? Yeah. You got political bureaucracy, specifically of a certain presidency, but not even that. You can even just generalize it to politicians don't care until it benefits them, and a lot of red tape. We got fake news, media literacy, and conspiracy theories, all of which are a big deal in this movie. And yeah, there's a miscommunication in the language used to talk about the issue, as in like scientists speak versus layman's terms. We have corporation,
That's a big one.
That's a big one. And I'm actually really glad that they talked about it, because like that's not a thing that's talked about enough with climate change. And then I've got corporations' abuse of people, and the way that a message is received depending on the person, like how people perceive them. So like sex and gender, race, mental health, economic class, etc., etc., etc. Those are all the ones I can think of. That's a lot. It's really overwhelming. Now, let me add on just a little bit. I think the oversaturation thing is a little harsh because it kind of feels like it's blaming the viewer for being oversaturated in media. However, Netflix is the one who produced this movie and who helped invent binging culture. Netflix. This 24-hour news cycle entertainment must have brain occupied. Blech. It was Netflix.
Yep.
Also, with the political stuff, I feel like it really it dampens the ability of this movie to talk about the issues. Like, I know politics is a big deal out of it, but the fact that they go so hard to make fun of the previous presidency alienates people that are also affected by climate change and by a lot of just in general big issues like this. So by making fun of that presidency, I feel like there's a lot more harm to it than there is like good outcomes, if that makes sense.
So like, yeah, I get what you're saying. So like,
It just shoots itself in the foot this way. I see why, because it's like it is kind of cathartic to make small hands orange man jokes.
Yeah, and also like if you're trying to reach, like, to be like you're trying to reach Republicans, but who, most of the time don't believe in climate change as much.
Yeah, they tend to not believe in climate change when they tend to be more affected by climate change, which is the sucky part.
Yeah.
My next point is half the cast feels like normal people. The other half of the cast, specifically like Meryl Streep and Jonah Hill, and I get it, that's the point. They feel like they just crawled out of another collab with Idiocracy, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah. I that bothered me too.
Yeah, and Peter Ishwell, he felt like somebody who would also belong in Idiocracy. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, we have Peter Ishwell in real life.
I know.
I
could.
We had. I don't like this point because we have a Peter Ishwell. We had a Madame President from this movie in real life. Mm-hmm. We had a Jonah Hill. Like, we had all these people.
I know, but
we have all these people, and they're real.
We know, but the issue is like, if you're trying to tell someone a message, maybe don't make fun. Also, if it hits too close to home, people are going to focus more on. Some people might focus more on, oh, wow, this is just like this person, instead of what's the message is trying to make. Like, you have to find the right balance, and this movie skewed too far into, hey, remember this? Remember Elon Musk being like this? Remember, I'm gonna say, I don't care. Remember, like, how this is just like the old presidency, right? Remember how, like,
you remember Tiny Hand Man?
Remember the whole Ivanka, like, like the rumors of Trump crushing on his daughter. That was the opposite. See, we're clever. Like,
yeah.
It's funny as a one-time joke, but then they kept going, and then it just takes away from the message. I honestly forgot it was a climate change thing halfway through.
Yeah.
I also don't. It's not about climate change, but also a one-time joke. It's a major plot point in the movie. Like,
no, the fact that he's crushing on his mom, sort of, or he's acting like he's crushing on his mom. Like, wow, look at that smoke show, 10 out of 10.
Oh, that okay.
That's the thing I'm talking about. That's the thing they kept referencing again and again and again.
Of that.
It felt like more. I could have sworn there were more.
They made like a funny comment like on that twice.
I felt like more. Anyway,
Jonah was my favorite. Oh, the funniest character in my opinion.
He was super funny.
Yeah, no, he's good. Yeah. I wanted to punch him in the face. He did such a good job.
Yeah.
Him and Meryl Streep did such a good job. I want to punch him in the face. Like, they were great.
The Molly's kicking in. I timed that perfect.
No, that was a great joke.
That was
okay.
Oh god.
All right. Let's continue.
Yeah. My last point. I know why Kate and Dr. Mindy are so gung ho about telling people that everyone's going to die, but real talk, the way that they are communicating this, and I know why they are communicating like this, but the way that they are communicating like this is actually hurting their own message. As a source, again, when I was at PSU, I was a psychology major. To make a long story a little shorter, we're in one of my psychology classes, we were talking about this. When you have two ways of framing the same situation, which in the example that I was given was, hey, Portland has a big earthquake that's coming in the next, it's like overdue. It's like 10 years
Overdue by
late.
100 or something years, and it could happen 10 seconds from now or 100 years from now.
Yes. So that was the example they gave, and they said like, oh, well, if you go door to door and you tell people, hey, did you know like 10 seconds from now or 100 years from now, you could be obliterated in a moment by an earthquake, and that's it. And then they tried it again with another person saying like, hey, just so you know, there's an earthquake that's supposed to be coming. Here's all the things that you can do to be prepared. Have a little goodie bag. Make sure that your building is safe. You can tech da. Guess which of those two people actually did the prep and which one disregarded all the information?
The one with the prep?
The one who was told, hey, just so you know, there's an earthquake. Not the one told, hey, you're gonna fucking die.
Okay. Yeah, but that's an earthquake. I don't know. I feel like if there's a comet that's literally gonna extinction level event, just like the Jurassic period, like how else do you frame that? There's no way to be prepared.
The point was of the move. Well, I think you're missing the point.
Yeah, the point was like they were supposed to have all this media training, but like I feel like even as scientists, like they had to have known there's a way to effectively communicate it, because like we look at climate change, scientists have been talking about climate change for some times, and they don't always go,
70s.
we are going to boil. The Arctic is basically a hot tub now. Polar bears have to shave monthly or be overheated. It's, hey, just so you know, there's a lot of CO2. We should do something about that. Here's some ways we can do. I know. But what I'm saying is they're not using effective communication. And I'd just like to point that out.
I mean, and I think the movie, what you're also getting at is, if I'm right, is the movie does the same issue by not giving the right way of mentioning it. And it just tries to say, look how society is. Are you going to say something on how to improve it? No. And
we live in a society. Curious. You live in the same society.
Yeah, the movie, I hate that when the movie's like, what are we supposed to do? Okay, movie, if you're so wise, tell us what we're supposed to do. Give us ideas. Nah.
Or like give us an answer or something along those lines.
No, it's just like, it's talking about the society, and it's not the climate change part. It's the society part. That's like, it's the same issue with Joker. It's like, oh, nobody's talking. No one's civil anymore. Okay, do you have an idea for it? Or you're just going to blame and not try to give a solution? Okay, cool. Like, yeah, I mean, you might be seen as preachy, but I don't know. At least try. All these movies are the same. I don't know.
Yeah, it does kind of have that Joker energy now that you phrase it like that.
That might be my issue with the movie.
Side tangent. Did anyone else feel like that Peter Ishwell thing where he was like, we're not going to destroy the comet, we're going to profit off the comet? Felt like a Zorg move.
Zorg?
From Fifth Element.
Right, yeah.
Kind of was like, I don't know.
How far off from reality is that, though?
I don't know.
I mean, no, you're right, Ed. It is pretty close to reality.
Well, on that lovely note, how about I try and fix the movie?
Please.
Yeah, this is a 3-hour-long movie. I felt like it was so long. And it's about a very dark topic. So what if we took all the footage and we did something a little bit different? We're going to shorten it, but not really. Do you guys remember when that show Love, Death, Robots came out?
Yes. One of the better shows on Netflix. Go on.
Yeah, I think it was season 1, I think. The two of you were like comparing notes or something, or on Reddit. You two guys were talking about it, but you started comparing notes on episodes and you found out, hey, my first episode wasn't your first episode.
It was on Reddit, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if the two of you had seen the same episodes or if like yours were mixed up.
It was region locked, so Ed and I saw the same ones.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah, like I think it was in like England. They played a different first episode, and then
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought it was a little bit more AB.
Ours was Sonny's Edge.
I hope they make a sequel to that one. That was fun.
Can make a whole show out
Well,
of Sonny's Edge.
I was going to do something kind of along the same lines, but I guess I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know if I'd region lock it. Basically, what I wanted to do is not necessarily make it a mini series, but have Don't Look Up be several movies, but framed on different characters and all playing at the same time, if that makes sense.
So like French Dispatch kind of style.
Not quite. Imagine think of it like, yeah, if we're gonna do French Dispatch, imagine French Dispatch, but you only saw part 1, I only saw part 2, and Ed only saw part 3. And then when we start talking about French Dispatch, we find out, wait, what do you mean you didn't see the art historian? What do you mean you didn't see what was the third one?
Revolution.
Yeah.
The chef.
Oh yeah. No, the Revolution with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Where he's
Yeah.
The chef is the 4th one. But anyways, yeah. So like we'd have a couple different perspectives on this. So we've got Kate Dibiasky. Also, while I was writing this, I realized, is she supposed to be, again, if you're looking at this more through the lens of climate change, is she supposed to be Greta Thunberg?
No.
Wait, why not? I'm curious.
I don't see how it relates at all. J-Law in this movie is much more just a cynic and the only one reacting sensibly.
I mean, Greta Thunberg went to the UN, was like, fuck you, you haven't been doing anything about this, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah, but she said it with media training. I think J-Law's a stand-in for us younger millennials.
That's what I was thinking. The disenfranchised.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, side tangent over. So we have a couple different perspectives. So we've got Kate Dibiasky, we've got Dr. Mindy, President Orlean, Peter Ishwell. Was it Ishwell? I thought it was Ishwell.
I think it's Ishwell.
Okay, yeah. Peter Ishwell, who's the Tesla Apple guy. In my notes I wrote CEO entrepreneur, probably born in 64. I'm funny. And then I wrote Kate's ex, but that was before I had actually seen Yule. So I think I'd sub out Kate's ex with Yule, who was Timothy Chalamet, and Dr. Mindy's mistress, Bright Tea. Like Brie Everty.
Yeah.
So in my mind, yeah, each one of those people would have a version, because it's 3 hours of content, and that's probably the stuff that was left after the cutting room floor. So there's even more than that. All you'd really have to film is some extra stuff for Yule and Brie, maybe Peter, right? Yeah, you guys are following me?
Yeah.
So like, I think you could take the movie and make it into these 6 different iterations and use them to isolate some of those specific topics that I mentioned are kind of feeling bloaty in the movie.
So to be like part 1, you focus more on, you follow this character for a bit. Part 2, you follow this character.
I
for
wouldn't
a bit.
even tell people it's a part 1. It'd be like, oh look, there's a movie on Netflix. You watch it 2 weeks later. Wait, but I just saw this movie. But it's different. Why is it focused on Dr. Mindy and not Kate?
Oh, so it just keeps changing.
It's the same story, but just told through different perspectives. But the idea is like, people are like A, B, C, D, E tested. So some people get A, which would be Kate. Some people get B first, that's Mindy. C down the line, right? And then after the first launch, then you get the next one.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
My issue, and I like how you're trying to be creative with it, like using Netflix's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Issue is though, like it'll all get leaked real quickly online, and then,
yeah, I know, it'll be a fun conversation. I want that. That's a feature, not a bug.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, so like Kate's version, I honestly, it would probably stick the closest to the original, just like the movie kind of focused mostly on her anyways. But Dr. Mindy, he would specifically highlight the miscommunication and the ways that people receive the message depending on how they feel about the speaker.
Okay.
where he's trying to use the science. He's trying, but he keeps using science terms and not layman's terms, and that's like a failing in his iteration. And then people are listening to him not because he's talking about the science, but because they like the way he's talking, or they like the way his voice sounds, and they're not paying
Don't forget
attention.
that he's a hunk.
True.
Wasn't he a hunk just because he like shaved a little edge off his beard?
Yeah.
And made more of a goatee.
No, they
Yeah, no.
trimmed his beard
At the
a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember that part. It was again, that movie's so damn long.
Yeah. President Orlean, her version would be how political agendas can change the narrative of insert problem here. And just like how quickly this big issue becomes not right now. I've got the scandal of my ex-lover, or my lover who's I'm trying to nominate for the Supreme Court, is a porn star, also a sheriff, also.
Didn't he like mess around with a bunch of people he shouldn't have too? Wasn't he implied to be like a rapist or something?
I don't know if he was a
I'm misremembering. Just again.
The only
There-
big
there was-
thing was that the president sent a picture of a coochie to him.
That was it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, consensually.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just like it's hard to tell. Like it was so close to actual scandals that my mind kind of mixed it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Ishwell's version, it would be highlighting the corporation's abuse of people and how that intersects with climate change specifically. Again, when I was looking at this, I was looking through the lens of climate change, but like, yeah, the corporation's abuse of people and how that really looks. Again, I wrote Kate's ex in my notes, but now I kind of like the version with Yule, where Yule's not a part of the story until like the second half. So for him, it's just like experiencing all this stuff secondhand, and then he meets everybody, like Kate and Dr. Mindy and him kind of going
Yule?
through it.
Yule?
Tim-
Yeah, I know. He's using the climate change example. I think he's like me now, which is it's too late. Why care anymore?
Yeah.
That's like his thing.
Yeah.
I thought when you said he's like me, now I'm like, oh, are you gonna be some like I was expecting some weird like edgy like I'm gonna be like Timothy Chalamet
No,
thing. I don't know.
like I
have a
still care
skateboard
about
now.
climate change and stuff, and we should do something about it. But I feel like it's too late.
I get
I
that.
feel it's already compounding too much off of itself. It's going to be an extinction level event after I'm dead. But you know,
But yeah, with Yule, I feel like you could easily highlight the ideas of media literacy and fake news and not being able to distinguish, especially with like conspiracy theories, because when he's first introduced, he's like, I don't even know if the comet's a thing. I think it's kind of bunk. And Kate's like, what the fuck? No, it's real.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you can highlight it really well there. And Bree Evertree, or Everty, not Evertree, that's a D&D name. How class impacts climate change and like the side effects of it, and like oversaturation in media.
And this will be a whole movie following each character.
Yes.
So that's just like an extra long miniseries.
Yes, pretty much.
yeah, it would literally just be a miniseries.
Except not many. And not so many series.
Because it's like it follows each character for 2.5 hours.
Or
Maybe
why not
some-
every character for 1 hour? Miniseries.
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, there's sometimes where like some movies will just do better as a mini series. I know you don't like to hear that, Ed, but
I just felt like this one was
I changed my
too
mind.
good.
I think a miniseries is the perfect medium to show any story. 1 or 2 seasons. It's better if it's just 10 episodes, 1 hour episodes each. Is the perfect way to show any story.
I mean, I don't know about miniseries. Like if it's a long-standing thing, like Invincible, that's gonna need like 8 seasons.
Yeah, or like Harry Potter. I don't think you could do Harry Potter effectively in a miniseries.
Ed's making a face like
He's thinking, oh,
Obviously, with some exceptions, but I think miniseries is the perfect medium.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
no, it's an effective way of communicating and not
You do
overdoing it.
Condensing.
Dune. Imagine Dune as a miniseries.
I haven't read the book for context, so I wouldn't know.
But we've seen the first.
Ed's making
we've
a
seen the
chef
movie.
kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double chef
It'd be
kiss.
so good. So good as a miniseries.
I feel like the more condensed written format is, the better it would be as a miniseries.
Yeah. So so you can guys can kind of get what I'm picturing. It's like when Dr. Mindy is going to the president's meeting without Kate, in Kate's version, we don't see what he says. He just it cuts to when he comes back and he's like, they're just gonna throw a bunch of nanobots at it. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This way people have they have to empathize with more than one perspective as well. That's why I was kind of going this route, which I feel like empathy with, especially with climate change, it's vital to finding any kind of solutions, whether solving climate change or even just reacting and changing and adapting to the effects of climate change. You're going to need empathy.
No, I get that. No, it's good.
Yeah. My last little note, as much as I liked Orlean's impression of a certain someone, instead of making her a ripoff and alienating half the audience, which I complained about, and again, rough math here, folks, on the half estimate, but I would actually both sides her a little bit.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't make her just like super Republican-y. You don't have to make her Republican-y.
Okay.
Because mainstream Democrats do it too. Just change the way she talks sometimes. She talks about how she's helping NASA fund some minor projects already. So, the comet's not going to be that bad when it finally shows up. We're working on it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. She's cut the regulations on Bash. So Bash is side corporation A space. So that means that they have to help with the comet when the time comes. They're going to innovate, y'all.
What, the road to hell is paved with good intentions?
Well, no, it's like the idea that if you let go of corporate regulations, that businesses are just going to do whatever's in the society's best
Okay,
interest.
so just tearing down the dumb idea of complete free market capitalism.
Yes.
Yeah.
She mentions how she's sure the other side will be reasonable with the impending comet, knowing full well that they will absolutely not comply with anything she says. What I'm saying is you don't have to make her a hardcore Republican. Democrats don't care much about climate change. Many will give lip service to it, but let's be real here. Coal Baron Mansion would rather watch babies die than let anything change for the climate.
You want to go next?
That's where you're wrong. But yeah, things like I liked about this movie, Jonah Hill's gags.
I told
you look so bad when you cry.
I had the FBI.
You want to come? Yes. Closes the door.
I made the FBI put the bag over your face. They don't have to. I made them do it.
Yeah, the CIA
does it.
But I made them do it because it was funny and cool. Fucking hell, dude. It was hilarious. But yeah, this movie's really real. Again, I expressed this in the beginning. Just really hits close to home. Although I don't know what I would do to change it, because it for me it works really well for the message it's sending, the inaction of everything that we do. I don't know. I just like the movie.
That's fine.
And yeah, everyone was a real person. I will say Peter's a bit too much.
I'm as real as you or me. What are you talking about, Ed?
Avoid eye contact. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. Does it stand up to fucking West Side Story or Nightmare Alley as a Best Picture nominee? Nope.
Wait, really? West Side Story? You didn't even like West Side Story that much.
Yeah.
Oof.
And this doesn't deserve to be up there with West Side Story, because I didn't like West Side Story too much, but it's still really good. Still musical.
What did West Side Story have that Don't Look Up has? Doesn't, or what does West Side Story have that Don't Look Up doesn't have?
That's hard. I will concede a little bit, and I will say that it is a bit much on the nose here. But Don't Look Up. It's a bit bit too much pressure on the nose.
He's putting a little bit of pressure on his nose, everyone.
Yeah, he put his finger on his nose.
A little bit too much.
Let me rephrase that, because West Side Story is like, it's a reboot of a movie that happened like what, in the 70s or something.
No, earlier.
Or this is like the third or fourth one, I think.
Yeah. So Nightmare Alley, you mentioned that's a Best Pick nominee. What does Nightmare Alley have that Don't Look Up doesn't have?
Don't spoil, please. I haven't seen it yet.
In very general, non-specific, non-spoilery terms.
This is probably like a
Oh,
that's
it. It has a payoff.
Ooh.
All the other movies have a payoff at the end. This one kind of does, but it's so like emotionally draining throughout the rest of the film that you don't really get that payoff, that feeling, you know,
at the catharsis.
End. Yeah, the catharsis. And I feel one of the best movies to have that like catharsis moment at the end. And honestly, I can't think of a movie that does this ending, just like hits you right in the feels better, that I've seen than La La Land.
Of course.
that last musical number, insane. Like I remember just sitting in the theaters and just watching that thing, and just like all these emotions just coming and going, and like when they sit down and start watching like the what if scenario that they stay together. Oh God, dude, I almost cried.
Okay, that monologue right there is the closest thing you've ever gotten me to wanting to watch La La Land. That right there.
No, there's a really.
You haven't seen La La Land?
You knew this.
She doesn't like jazz.
I don't like jazz or sad movies.
It's not sad. It really isn't.
No. It's more.
I still don't like jazz though.
You've seen.
You don't
have liked worse.
know
movies.
jazz. It's not.
Ruthie doesn't. Of course, Ruthie doesn't know jazz. She doesn't like it. She doesn't know much.
You seen Whiplash?
No, I haven't seen Whiplash. I want to.
Have I heard of Whiplash? I don't know.
The J.K. Simmons is an angry drummer.
Yeah. Not quite my tempo.
It became
Damien Chazelle's movie before La La Land. Anyways, enough about La La Land. Don't Look Up. It doesn't have that catharsis. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have that like feeling at the end, because West Side Story also kind of has that, although it's a little not as like, it's a little weird. It's not as much, really.
Would the movie have the catharsis if you cut out the bit with Meryl
naked Meryl Streep getting eaten by the fucking dinosaur?
If you cut that and the
I wasn't even talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the Last Supper kind of thing at the end. It is like an emotional moment, but it doesn't quite hit as much because everything else in the movie is so fucking draining. And maybe that's a bit of the point, because the world is fucking exhausting. That life is just existence is just pain. Movies are a bit of an escape.
Yeah, that is the reason I had such a hard time with it. When we were watching this for the Isaacs, Hector threw me under the bus and told everyone I'd only watched 40 minutes. I didn't even finish the movie for this recording. I got most of the way through and I saw the ending.
Did you see The Last Supper?
I saw the Last Supper scene.
Okay.
But like,
she literally missed like the last unimportant third, like 20 minutes.
I think, I had to like,
I did
physically pull myself away.
I will say I did not rewatch the entire movie because
I
I watched it a while ago, and then I watched like the first half up until like the don't look up movement starts, and then I just saw The Last Supper, and then I stopped there.
Yeah, no, I had to like physically get away from the TV because it was
it's exhausting.
It was giving me a bit of a depressive episode today when I was trying to watch the thing with Ariana Grande. Like after the concert, I was like, no, I need to leave.
Oh, did Kid Cudi's in the movie too, though?
I don't.
I'm glad he's doing better.
I'm glad he's doing better too. I don't know who he is. I hope he does better.
Kid Cudi?
Yeah,
he's a rapper, very big rapper. Did a Day and Night, right?
No, yeah, I like Kid Cudi. Yeah, but what? Wait, what happened to Kid Cudi? I didn't know.
After he released that album with Day and Night, it was like I think just a year later, he went into rehab for mental issues.
Then it wouldn't
And-
necessarily be rehab. It would, yeah.
No, it could be rehab sometimes.
Oh,
He,
think.
yeah.
Or
He went to
so-
rehab. That's like the number one thing I know.
ah,
And he has talked about his issues with depression in the past. So I assume it's the same thing. It wasn't drugs. I know it wasn't rehab for drugs.
Brave of him to be in this movie, then, considering it's depressing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But it was cool seeing Kid Cudi in the movie.
Yeah.
The guy's doing better. Yeah, and he was in another movie, I think, too.
I
recently.
don't keep track of Kid Cudi so much. I just listen occasionally.
Yeah.
So is there anything you'd change?
I would definitely make the not so real characters more realistic, which is basically just Madame President and Peter. Just make them a little bit more grounded
yeah.
in reality, even though they kind of already are. Just make them a little less extreme on the extreme.
Yeah, they felt just like slightly flanderized, but it's the fact that the
They
rest
felt
of the
slightly
cast,
flanderized, but even flanderized, like it's real. But I feel like people in that position of power would be much more. They'd be able to do the facade more effectively.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the last president didn't. As times, I don't know how to say this. It feels like that part was kind of accurate.
Yeah.
it was
I know.
accurate to a specific president, but you can find a way to make it more accurate to politics in
Yeah.
general, which I feel
Why
like
don't
would have
why
been.
not make him more like W?
The fact that
Because
Rick
he was a
and Morty,
political Republican.
the fact that
How
Rick,
much is a Brazilian?
the fact that the fact that Rick
Binders
and
full of
Morty,
women. Sorry.
the fact that Rick and Morty's president actually fits both
Yeah,
is a weird testament to how.
Oh jeez.
Like, I'm not even like a
Yeah.
big Rick and Morty super fan, but like just the fact that it fits
Yeah.
is
I
wild to
can't
me.
tell if the president is Republican or Democrat in Rick and Morty.
It doesn't. Like, I
Yeah.
think the closest joke is in the new season when they're about to shoot the incest space baby. He's like, they're about to shoot. It's like, wait, no, it's almost an election year. Don't. And then
It's an election. You don't. Yeah. I wouldn't really change much, honestly. Oh yeah. Okay. I will say, this has the best long gag in the entire fucking the best like continuous gag throughout the movie. Is one of the best long gags ever, in my opinion. And it was the 3-star general charging for the free snacks.
I know.
Yes, I love that.
And I saw the scene where it's Kate and Teddy sitting in the room after like the rockets got turned around, and she's like, I keep going over it and over again in my head, and it still just doesn't make any sense.
She makes one more comment about it later.
Yeah, I know.
with Timothy
With
Chalamet.
Yule, she's
Yeah,
like, I don't get why he did it. He's a 3-star general. Why did he make us pay for the snacks?
when they're free, dude. That like that gag's so good.
No, it's really good. Also, I didn't know Jennifer. I'm sure she's done some comedy stuff. But I didn't know she actually had like I know she had a really good comedic timing.
Yeah, Jonah Hill too. The Molly gag
Yeah, I know.
is so
Jonah Hill's cheating. He's good at comedy.
Yeah.
the Molly's kicking him right now. It's on that.
My best joke, or my favorite joke from him was like I made the FBI put the bag over your head. This normally it's the CIA that does it, but I made them do it.
Because it was funny. Yeah, this movie's hilarious. I'll give it that. And I think that's why I also like the movie so much, because this humor is like my humor. And like a lot of comedy movies don't have this humor.
I get it.
It's so fucking funny. Anyways, yeah, I wouldn't really change much of all. Just make it a little bit more grounded, less exhausting, so that the Last Supper is more payoff, cathartic, and just
Yeah.
cut the ending Cut the credit mid-credit scene
Yeah, no, for
where the
sure.
person gets eaten by the stupid fucking Utah
Dinosaurs.
raptor.
Is my
Go
turn?
ahead, Hector.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna start with my likes. I like following my structure. The acting was pretty good. Again, Jennifer Lawrence really surprised me with her comedy. I've only ever seen her in more serious roles. The dialogue was okay. Like, some of it was really funny and some of it was realistic. Other lines were just kind of weird. Like, it makes sense why he said it, but the fact where Tyler Perry's just like, we can like just talk, we can fuck, and I'm like, I get why that line happened, but it's still so, I don't know, just felt tilted, like just jilted a little. You know what I mean, right, Ed? He gave a thumbs up. The wild, I don't know, the absurdness worked well in some parts. Like, the CEO getting full clearance was honestly a pretty funny joke to me. Like, he's a top level donor, he got full clearance. I'm like, okay, that's gold. But then, like, and it's terrifying. But other parts just felt kind of weird, like when he's just like, I have like 8. I can't do it now. It's like, I have 8 algorithms. I've seen how you die. You're lonely and sad and kind of alone. And it's like, okay, like, I know it's not a joke, but it was just like, in the later, it's like, let me rephrase that. Sorry. It just, I don't know, that level of absurdity was just stupid to me, especially when they used it to make some weirder jokes that I felt didn't fully match with the movie. Again, like, also the ending was the only other like I had. Just up until the credits, it was great. Then the end credits happened, and it's like, please don't. You just ruin a nice ending. I don't mind it when comedies turn to more drama. Just stop. Dislikes. This movie felt really wishy-washy with the absurdity and the reactions. You know, like you were saying, it was a mix of, was it, Ruthie? It's a mix of Idiocracy.
Yeah, it felt like half the cast was normal people and the other half was like people from Idiocracy who like crawled back to a time machine or something.
I haven't seen all of it, but like Blazing Saddles, there's only like 2 normal characters and everyone else is a fucking... Ed, you've seen it, right?
I need to see it.
What did you expect? These are people of the West, cream of the crop, clay of the common land. You know, morons.
Yeah, so you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I know.
Those were only 2 normal characters in a crazy world, right? I think that's what this movie could have done with more. Because if it's half and half, then it's like, okay, what, you can't decide. You guys know about that complaint about Netflix where all their shit looks kind of cheap? Because like either the lighting or the props
or the CG.
Yeah.
There are some things that like they do a lot of stuff, but yeah, no, there's a variance in quality. If it's not Stranger Things, it does look a little cheaper.
Like The Witcher has some of those episodes where it looked kind of cheap. Sorry, the whole point of that, sorry, it's just some of the sets, like the Oval Office set looked kind of fake. Like, I didn't believe it was the Oval Office. I thought this is a set to make it look like the Oval Office. You know, I don't know. Some parts just felt it could be better. I guess like we've all said, it's too long and it's spread too damn thin. It's like you have butter, not enough butter for the toast. Because like just focus on a fewer issues, skip some stuff. Also, my fucking god, that song is so bad.
Oh yeah, I hated it because it was like half breakup song, half like on
What
the
song?
nose.
The one Ariana Grande sang.
The one that got, I think it got nominated for an Oscar.
It's nominated. I hate it so much. The only reason the song got nominated is because there's not enough music, not enough songs this year for the Oscars. That's my big theory on it. It sucks so goddamn much.
Did West Side Story get a song nomination?
I can't remember. You're the super genius when it comes to memorizing Oscar.
Don't fucking call me out like that.
It's a compliment. You just seem to
and
remember,
you're
like,
knowing things about Oscars. Ugh.
Knowing things about movies, bro.
You remember Oscar nominations better than I do. We've talked about previous years, and you remember it more. You're more accurate about which ones won what.
I mostly focus on Best Picture. So music, original score. Oh, yeah. I like the music. Just like the instrumental music.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's,
But Daria,
Don't Look Up was nominated.
I'll be honest, Netflix keeps doing that like synthwave stuff, and it doesn't want to escape it. It doesn't matter what the production is, they don't want to fucking escape it. It like Castlevania had some.
yeah,
This movie had some, although Castlevania did use that to save, just to make this music from the show, from the games,
yeah.
like a special moment. So I'm not too mad about that one.
Don't Look Up is not nominated for Best Original Song.
I thought the song was.
It might have
It's
been
nominated
nominated-
for Original Score.
Oh, I got them mixed up. My bad. Ignore that.
the song might have been nominated for another award that wasn't the Oscars.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But also, the song is called "Don't Look Up," I think.
No, it's Just Look Up.
Oh, it's Just Look Up. Okay. God damn it. Never mind. I look like a fucking idiot. Keep this in, Ed. Yeah, I know. Get rid of the fucking song. That's my first change.
But then you don't get Kid Cudi.
He was already in the movie though.
I know,
Just
but he's
let him
in
act.
the song, right?
They don't have to sing. It's just to get people attention, because if everyone's in this movie, then more people are going to want to watch it.
Yeah, Kid
You
Cudi.
can have them, but you can have them both in the backstage being like getting ready and making lovey faces
It'd be
at
a
each
gag
other.
in itself. Like, they start to sing, like, and then people just talk like, "Oh, it's the best performance." Like, holy shit.
True.
I don't know. It would have been a lot fun having an actual song, but nope. The song,
Kid Cudi.
it's on the radio. It gets people's attention. I get what they're doing, but God, it's like no shit to either of the singers. They're fine. I mean, I like more Kid Cudi than Ariana Grande, but like, I don't know. It felt I didn't want to fucking watch. If I want music in my movie, I'd watch a musical. I don't want to watch pop stars or popular people that might not, in a movie that, I don't know, feels like it's not going to
Kid
be
Cudi.
popular in a while. I like Kid Cudi too. Like, that's what I'm
In
saying.
defense of Ariana's acting, she did get her start on Nickelodeon.
Oh, right. Jesus, I completely forget.
Victorious?
Oh no, I remember. Right, I watched it. I've watched it with working at kids' homes, but oh man, like I don't know. I just see her as a singer more than anything.
Yeah, no.
Also, the song's just like, it tells people listen to scientists, but the people this movie's trying to reach, like, listen to scientists, it's not going to listen. They're not going to listen if, one, I don't think they're going to listen to Ariana Grande as much. They probably don't like her.
Yeah, not after her song "God Is a Woman."
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to listen to it. And also, like, what she's singing is like, just shut the fuck up and listen to scientists or whatever it was.
Yeah, and it didn't even like follow the beat.
It
was-
didn't. It was just like, okay, cool. Now,
like if
like, I get it. It's a hard thing to walk on. Sorry, what were you saying, Ruthie?
well, if Ed's thing was like it's on the nose, that song felt like a punch to the face.
Right in the schnoz, yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Uh,
nose will look like Owen Wilson's nose.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not to my real changes, I guess. Honestly, it's just kind of trim the fat and add some stuff. Randall's story would basically play out the same. Just skip the scenes with him cheating after that first kiss and they're walking back to the hotel room.
When Randall and the time host kiss in the Situation Room, and J-Law just like her
That seems
jaw
fine.
drops. That's so funny.
No, that one's fine. That was hilarious. No, I just mean, like, they keep, like, the part of them, like, talking in bed. That's like 3 minutes.
Mhm.
We don't need that.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
You get rid of it?
I get rid of it. I get the idea of that movie's so damn long. I'm just trying to cut the fat. It doesn't add anything. It doesn't feel like it adds much. It just adds that they're different. They're only attracted because it's a popularity thing. I thought we already got that message already from the get-go.
I didn't think it was necessarily popular, but like for him, it's like, oh, the world's ending, and she's like, oh, a new toy.
Yeah, I got that vibe without them
Yeah.
without them talking in bed. So I
It
don't
was
know.
also funny when his wife revealed to him that she fucked some like football player when they were in college or something.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Oh, that was fine. Yeah,
He's
that's
just like,
fine.
oh,
Okay, yeah. Like, he's just trying to compartmentalize it for the last few minutes on Earth. Yeah, no, it's
he's like,
it
oh,
was-
okay.
yeah, no, that was fine. I don't know about Meryl Streep being a Republican coded president. The last president was saying shit like pretty sexist shit and he still got voted, I don't think they'd be fine with a woman president. I'm just gonna say
yeah, yeah, of course.
that. Yeah.
Also,
Like,
but I will say this movie is the one where I'm like, okay, Meryl Streep's actually a really good actress. Because I hate how he who shall not be named. Also, I said it before he said it, right?
Said what?
I think Meryl Streep's a little overrated. And then
Did he
he
say
who
that?
shall not be named said it. And I'm like, motherfucker. Now I can't agree. I can't.
On principle.
On principle. And yeah, okay, so like she showed huge range in this one. It's just like this is like the first time I've seen Meryl Streep play somebody different.
Holy shit.
Deserve the nomination for or whatever, or the win or whatever for the Post. She deserves it for this. This is like honestly, you mentioned Meryl Streep, and I'm like, wait, she was in this movie?
Wait a minute.
She's finally playing someone that isn't Meryl Streep.
Yeah. I get that.
She did a good job in Devil Wears Prada, but that was like
a while ago.
It was a while ago, but it's still Meryl Streep though. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's Meryl Streep just playing Meryl Streep even in Devil Wears Prada.
Sort of.
No,
she's still kind of a nice lady.
No.
Well,
in
like
Devil Wears Prada?
She's not.
She's the devil.
She is. Wait, is she literally the devil?
No.
Have you seen Devil Wears Prada?
Have you seen it? It's good. It's Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep.
I have seen it. I don't remember.
No, the whole point is that she's a horribly toxic person, and Anne Hathaway is starting to become like her, and she's like at the end, yeah, it's like, wow, this is not a person you want to be.
So Ed, I didn't know that Trump said that about Meryl Streep. Now I know why she took this role, and I take that whole thing back. She I thought she did great. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
but now,
shit! I can see why she. Oh my god!
Well,
if that's the reason why,
yeah,
that'd be amazing.
That'd be hilarious. Props to her if she did. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I actually might have a lot more respect for this movie if that's the reason. Like, Jesus, it's an opportunity. They fucking took it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my last fix. I know, and I might need some help with this, but I feel like Kate would be a lot more popular than she was.
But they did show her being like kind of popular, but like in a meme sense.
I honestly think they overplayed meme culture.
Yeah, they did.
Because they're like, oh, she's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. No, we'd be fucking rooting for her because she's actually being real.
Yeah, no,
we would meme her in a good way.
Yeah.
No, this movie that was the one part of the movie I'm like, okay, this is kind of showing the writer's age in a sense, or not as much research.
Basically, they misrepresented meme culture hugely.
So
bigly.
Yeah. So with that, god damn it.
Cafefe.
Stop.
Dude, cafefe. What does it mean?
For shits and giggles, once I was looking at rabbits like to adopt, and there was one that named Cafefe, and I so wanted a rabbit in that moment.
Dude. They named the rabbit Cafefe?
Yes.
Yeah. So she would be popular. More than just more popular than Cafefe.
Should be, yeah.
So I think she would be leading this movement from the background after like she exposes it the first time. She's like, I'm done with this mission. Like, and then she would just start a grassroots movement and a bunch of protests.
Like how what Mindy was kind of trying to do early on. He was like being a Twitter warrior.
Yes, but she actually like goes out in the streets too and like gets shit going, and it starts to actually have an impact, and that's what leads to the president to try the first attack, and then afterwards it gets worse, and then she just after starting the riot at the not Bubba Gumps, that's when the whole movie plays out the same. And then she's like, okay, I'll just join with Randall or Mindy or Dr. Mindy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have anything else you guys think you could do to make that a bit better?
Nope. Not from my end, at least.
Okay.
I can't think of anything. I like it.
Thank you. Just something to kind of streamline it and get that, because I feel like that was a part of the movie that was like not explored, ironically enough, and I want to trim some stuff. But
they kind of touch on it, but not really.
Yeah.
It's always just people making fun of her, which if you're in the like spotlight at all, yes, there's going to be people making fun of you, but not always. There's always going to be like some kind of polarizing opinion.
Yeah. The movie kind of gave it a more of an old person, like older people, 40s are going to look at it one way instead of looking at the actual younger until the end. All right, that's it. Grades?
B.
D. It made me sad.
C minus.
Well, that's a range.
Yeah.
She has the range, darling.
Any more? What, Ed? What have you been watching or playing or whatever?
Not a lot recently.
We saw Turning Red last weekend.
Oh, that was good.
It was so good.
It was so good. It was actually really fun.
Yeah, it was a little hard to relate to just because, you know.
The Northman
I'm kidding.
comes
Sorry.
out in 31 days.
What comes out in 31 days?
The Northman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, when I went to go watch Batman, the Northman trailer played. And it was the first time like my friend Levi and Victor saw it. And Levi fell in love with the movie immediately from the trailer.
It looks cool as shit.
I mean, yeah.
I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Fjolnir. Sorry.
He got Bjork to film it, to act again. I heard she wasn't doing that anymore after a horrible experience on the last set she was on. So
What was the last she was on?
I don't know.
The director / writer. No, I think the director was just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And not Robert Eggers.
No.
Eggers got her back into cinema.
So
Whatever he said convinced her.
Let's look at this. Filmography. So, Juniper Tree, Dancer in the Dark, what the fuck?
I don't want to say one. It was one of the ones I think you said. I can't remember which one.
It was probably the last one she ever did.
Yeah, it was
Crying Restraint 9.
Was that the last one?
Yeah, that was in 2005.
What's the last one she did?
That one.
It wasn't that one. I don't think so. It was
directed by Matthew Barney.
I don't know.
Maybe it was Dancer. Maybe she was put off by Dancer in the Dark.
Might have been Dancer in the Dark. I don't know.
Yeah.
She did television, other appearances. See if it talks about it.
Yeah.
It was Barney, I think.
It was Barney.
She met artist Matthew Barney in the art scene. The pair formed her daughter.
Oh.
York initially kept their work separate, but then collaborated on Barney's film, Drawing Restraint 9.
It was Dancer in the Dark.
It was Dancer in the Dark.
It was Dancer in the Dark?
The director denied Bjork's allegations that he sexually harassed her, and she also accused him of ongoing disrespectful verbal and physical abuse.
Oh, so it wasn't. Yeah, because it seems that she's married or in a relationship with Matthew Barney. Oh, no, they broke up in 2013.
On a lighter note, I hope.
Yeah, on a lighter note, my one more thing is I've been watching the new Space Force season a little late. It's a lot better than the first season. Problem is you have to get through like the really bad ending of the first season. Like that last episode of Space Force season 1.
What show?
Space Force, the one with Jim
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. I keep saying Jim Carrey.
It's The Office, but astronauts.
Yeah.
It's really not though.
It felt like it from what you were watching today.
I think they're embracing more of that vibe, but the first season was a little different.
Bro,
Yeah.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, you're gonna have to remove that.
What?
You're gonna have to remove that. It's a spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Attack on Titan's been good. I still need to catch up, but I've already read it, so it's weird. Like I don't have to catch up. You're gonna have to censor yourself.
But you know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I think it was worse in the manga, actually.
Worse in the manga?
Yeah, they've been doing good about.
Wait, what do you mean worse?
Like more in. I think it was like his. I think it was like.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to really take that last bit out.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to remove all these Attack on Titan spoilers.
Oh, dude, I took out our 20-minute Dark Souls talk.
Nah.
That was a while.
Is it my pick now?
I think so. Let's look through the list.
I got a lovely list from our Twitter.
Wait. Oh yeah, because I did Time Traveler's Wife.
Mhm.
Yep. So it's
This.
you
picked this? You picked Don't Look Up, Victor?
Yes, I did because I was. You know how that time Ruthie tried to mess with me and picked a movie. I was like, I'm gonna do it to her as a joke, and then I forgot how bad it was gonna. I forgot.
You
He
ended up
decided to
liking
mess
the
with
movie
me.
she picked, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
You ended up liking the movie she picked. Right?
Yeah. So I thought, I don't know. I thought it'd be funny, and then I ended up picking a bad, the one that actually like kind of made her, like she said later, a bit depressed. I was an accident. I'm sorry, love. No, Ruthie asked people on Twitter what movies they dislike. Don't do it, you coward. Do it. One guy's movie was
Our next episode, Cats. What is it? 21 or 22?
20.
20.
No, I'm not watching the movie. I'm
What?
not.
You're not?
No, I'm not watching the movie.
Why not?
I'm not watching that movie. I will
Alright.
never watch that movie.
Okay, fine. Never mind.
I'm not watching that movie. I will only watch the movie if they ever release the butthole cut.
I would watch the butthole cut.
So you know what, guys? I think after that steaming hot pile of garbage, we could use a palate cleanser.
All right.
Let's watch a good movie.
Sure.
Let's watch Sucker Punch.
I've never seen it. Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to
look up. Don't forget
look
to
up.
look up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Look up once in a while.
Look up. Don't forget to, give us like 5 stars and
Recommend us to somebody.
yeah.
Word of mouth is underappreciated power that helps people. like
True.
us.
It is.
Like our memes on Twitter and Instagram.
Which are for the Twitter, it's
At ReShoot Movie PO1.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram is at ReShoot Pod. It's either podcast or pod. You'll find it.
No, you might want to say it.
Ugh.
It's reshoot_podcast.
Yeah, reshoot_podcast. I post funny things. I do funny stories. I do polls on stories.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, catch us next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Today's film was Don't Look Up, directed by Adam McKay. The writers were
Adam McKay and David Sirota.
and the cinematographer was Linus Sandgren. Go show some love to their various social media accounts. They made a movie, which is more than we can say here.
Yep. Join us next time for
Sucker Punch.